Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of the Ultimate Journeyman. We're going to start this episode by doing a few scout reports and setting our scouts up to scout around South Africa. Because the scouts that I got weren't South African themselves, we've needed to scout South Africa so that they've got a bit of knowledge for it. Obviously because of the foreign player rule, I think that we're going to have to scout South Africa mainly to get some players in, and if we can obviously build up some sort of knowledge of the South African teams, and hopefully we might be able to get a couple of youngsters in the years to come, in the seasons to come. So I'm just setting them up at the moment. The way that I do it is just basically by selecting the nation, select the nation that you want. I usually put like a potential ability of maybe like 2 stars, but because obviously they're so terrible in this league, I'm just setting them up so that they'll scout any players from any of the clubs, so hopefully you can build up quite a bit of knowledge. I sometimes put maybe determination on one of the stats as well. I found that setting a time frame of say like 6 months to a year is actually better than just letting it run until finished, because sometimes your scout will just come back earlier than he needs to, or he might just give up on trying to scout a nation a bit too early when he's trying to build his knowledge up, so it's just a bit better to put an actual time frame on it, I think. Okay, so we've skipped just over a week. We've got quite a few trialists in, as you can see from the bottom of the screen there. So we've still got the team together that I picked beforehand. This keeper's got himself injured, and I think I might end up selling him. I'm just going to try and build a team out of the trialists and the players that I currently have, and just have a look at some of the trialists just quickly. I think that a problem area at the minute is the goalkeepers. I think that they're quite poor. Haraba seems like he might be okay. He's got quite good decisions, good reflexes, good positioning, but he's really not that great, to be honest. He has actually got okay stats in comparison to my current keeper, who's obviously foreign, so I'm quite keen to get rid of him. Something that I do quite often is do the comparison screen. It's really, really good, obviously, to see which of your players is better. The overview gives quite a good readout most of the time, and I'll use that quite a lot of the time in the bigger teams. But when it comes to the lower leagues, I like to compare stat by stat, just because you can get a bit of a distorted view on the overview. Whereas when you're in the lower leagues, you might want to concentrate on some core stats and make sure that obviously you've got good stats in that area. Yeah, he does look okay, this Haraba. He's just got a little bit more well-rounded mental stats, slightly. A little bit better one-on-ones than Koza. Christensen's obviously a foreigner as well. His anticipation of 6 is really concerning me, to be honest, because you can't really be having that. You have to let goals in from all over the show, so I'm going to terminate his trial. 10 handling for Haraba, though, it's worrying me, but I think that's where we're going to go at the moment, is Haraba. Hendricks looks like a really, really good player. I'm not quite sure I'm going to play him just yet. I think that I'd prefer to get a bit more of a pacey fullback, but he could definitely play centre midfield and do a job in there. Really good determination, really good tackling. Yeah, he's just not the quickest. Decisions isn't great, composure isn't great, but he's got good first touch, good passing, decent work rate. Yeah, so I think we're definitely going to sign Hendricks, to be honest. Depending on how much he wants, I think he might end up asking for quite a bit a week because he is quite a good player. Maricane, he's okay. Dean Galloway, he looks actually really good. He's 22. He's got some good defensive stats. Lepping, a bit more well-rounded, but he is a centre-back by trade. Jumping 6, which is a bit of a problem. Mahoa, left-back. Obviously, 18 marking is unbelievable. He might have to end up being my left-back, to be honest. Yeah, I was just wondering whether Lepping could play right back, but he isn't really that great, to be honest. Clifton Davids, turns out he's not anything like Edgar. And Lovu, he seems like he might be quite good. Obviously, I need to wait for his stats to clear up a little bit more, but he looks okay. Peeler, decisions of 5, 2 for teamwork. 7 work rate. No, I don't think he's good enough, but we'll leave him in for now. Sutsalupa, I mean, I really like this guy. 17 determination, 17 work rate. I think he's going to be one of my centre midfielders. And Kula, I'm not sold on him at all, to be honest. Might keep him just for a couple of friendlies. Delamini, he's quite decent. Qualanto, yeah, he's got good stats, this guy. He is 35 though. he's got 1 for determination as well, which is a problem. And I think at 35, that pace is just going to keep going down. So Carlo, he's okay. I think I can get better though for his position. Mama Shayla, I quite like this guy as well, but he has got a couple of concerning stats. So all in all, not great. Not great at all. We're filling some of the positions out a little bit. As you can see, let's take Peeler out of centre back. Yeah, we've got a Soko for a centre back who is quite a good centre back. I think he's probably going to end up being a first teamer. Obviously, we've got Moyo who can play centre midfield. I think it could end up being him and is it Sutsalupa? Yeah, he's got a ridiculous name. I don't really want to have him because I don't really want to be saying that over and over again, but it looks like we are. So yeah, I'm going to change to my usual and go 4-3-3. I will do a bit of an episode on the actual tactics and how I set it up, but at the minute I'm just focusing on the players and just going to see what type of players I can get in, because obviously the tactics is going to be dependent on whether we can actually pass the ball around or not, or whether I'm going to have to hit it a little bit longer. Yeah, so just going to have a little rescan through. Isn't looking great. This guy looks okay. He's got a bit of pace about him, to be honest. He could end up being a decent little fullback if I move Hendricks into the middle. Skosana. I think I might end up selling Skosana. Sabeko. Might do the same with him. I mean, they are quite young, but I do like playing with young players. It's just that in these leagues, I find that just trying to get out of the league is better. So if it means you have to buy a few oldies and get rid of a few youngsters, then it's probably worthwhile. And obviously, if you're kind of waiting around for them to get better, you haven't really got the time when you're in the lower leagues. And obviously, if you play them now and they're still not good enough to play in the top league next season, then you've kind of wasted your time on them a little bit. You might be able to sell them for a little bit more, but you kind of run the risk of not getting promoted by keeping them in your team. Sal's is probably going to be one of my main strikers. He's just got really good physicals. Obviously, there's stats all over the place that he could do better with, but I think he could do a good job. Okay, so we've offered a couple of players out. We've actually had a couple of bids for people. Andorra has actually come back to us now and said that he's unhappy that I've been offering him out, but he is a foreign keeper. I think that Harab is probably going to do a bit of a better job, so I think I'm probably going to get rid of him, to be honest, and he's worth a little bit of money and on a bit of a wage as well. Right, so I'm just going to have a look at the board and obviously look at how much money we can get. So it looks like we can actually get into the green now on the wages, so if we can get rid of a couple more players, we'll be all right. And these are the players that I've offered out in a minute and the offers that we've got on them. Okay, so we've skipped another day and we've actually got the first friendly now. So I've just pretty much just put all the trialists into the squad, put a few of them in the first 11, and we're just going to play the first game finally. So yeah, it's just going to be a friendly. The thing that I do with the opposition instructions is basically just put tight marking and closing down on all of the attacking players. So wingers, centre attacker, mids, strikers, and also put weaker foot. But I put weaker foot on pretty much every single player. Bar the 2 centre halves, to be honest. And the reason that I do that is I find that it prevents the crosses more than anything else. So yes, it might be just something to look out for. I've actually ended up getting a red team talk there, which is not the best start to the game, but we'll see how we get on in this. Got a nice orange and black here, so let's see how we get on. Not expecting anything too great off this, to be honest. You can see that obviously the stadium is absolutely packed to the rafters. I think we've probably got about, I don't even know if we've got anybody else here apart from our players and theirs. And that is not a good start at all. 1-0 down after 2 minutes. Absolutely great. I don't know who this team are. I've not actually looked them up before the game. So we'll have to see how we get on. Come on, boys. I think probably the familiarity on the tactics isn't going to help. I have found that I usually don't do amazingly well. Like if I do pretty well in the first couple of months of the season, usually I'll go on to do really good because the familiarity never really seems to be too high. Or Moyo, absolute rifle of a shot. A few more of them, I'll be happy. Yeah, only seems to start creeping up after a few months at least, and then I end up getting some better performances out of it. I don't know if that's because of the way my tactics are set up, but in the end it ends up alright. The problem is I end up shipping a lot of players and getting some new ones in at the end of the season, and it kind of refreshes itself back down to the end. So yeah, we're knocking about alright here. Moyo, Hendricks, I'm hoping for big things from you, really, to be honest. Moyo, great knockout to Hendricks. Good ball in, Sowles. That's what I'm talking about, mate. I think he's going to end up scoring a lot of goals this season. A lot of possession in the middle of the pitch. Hell of a lot of possession in the middle of the pitch. And by us in our own half. It's not the best. But let's just give them any old teams luck will do, to be honest, at this point. I'm not really too bothered about any of the friendlies. I'd like to obviously win a few of them, but it's not the end of the world if I don't. And obviously I've got a lot of trialists in the team as well, so we'll just see how we get on. Oh, he scored, Nyambe. It's a great finish. It's an absolutely great finish. It's 2-1. Two of the strikers doing alright. Two centre mids seem to be doing okay, even though they've got poor ratings, they seem to have done alright on the actual highlights. And Lovu seems to be knocking it forward quite well in. Moyo again. Is he going to hit it? Oh, he has had to go. Hopefully he'll be decent on some long shots, because it'd be quite nice to get some goals from midfield. I found that usually when you centre midfielders get some goals, you do finish pretty high up the league. Strikers kind of takes care of themselves most of the time, but some goals from midfield are quite good. And obviously because I'm not playing with any wingers, there's not going to be any wingers scoring any goals, so I'm going to have to hope that either all three of my strikers just bang absolutely every game, or I get a couple of goals from midfield. Hopefully some important ones, to be honest, where it's 0-0 or 1-1 or whatever, and they strike like a 40-yarder. I'd quite like a few of them to fly in. Hendricks is doing alright at right back. I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that's it. So 2-1, not too bad. Performances weren't great by any stretch of the imagination though. Okay, so we've skipped a couple more days and it's asking for the pitch sizes. I'm actually not too sure. Usually when I've got quite a bit of fitness or some pacey players, I do maximum allowed just to give her quite a bit of space, but I think we're just going to stick with the current dimensions for this one. I think that'll be fine. Hopefully it won't impact us either way there, and we won't screw ourselves over in any way, to be honest. And I don't really want to play with too wide a pitch when I'm only playing a narrow formation in a 4-3-3. Okay, so I'm just going to clear up the reserves, because obviously you can see there's quite a bit of wage being tied up there, especially this guy on £625 a week. So I'm just going to offer these out for free. It's definitely something that you should look at in your game. You're obviously not using the reserves for any reason. You don't care how your reserve team gets on. And usually there can be a bit of wage freed up, because if I could sell these ones out here, I'm probably end up getting about £1,000 extra on my wage bill, and my total wages, even if I max out, is only 17k. So yeah, it's definitely something to look out for in your game. So I've had a bit more of a look at around the team, tried to put together a bit of an 11 for myself. So I'm going to probably offer a couple of contracts out now. I think we're going to start with Hendricks. Obviously, he had a good first friendly. He seems to be one of the best in terms of stats. So I'm just going to show you what I do with the contracts and try and break it down for you. At the beginning, I'll try and knock down the wage as much as possible in the lowest leagues. Obviously, you have to pay for the sign-on fee like you would for a transfer, so try and get that to zero if you can. Usually, they don't ask for too much as a sign-on fee. He's only asked for, I think, a couple of thousand, so it wouldn't have been the end of the world if I had to. But yeah, just try and keep negotiating the wage down. Also, another thing that I do with the lower leagues is I'm not necessarily going to get very many clean sheets. I like to put clean sheets up, which allows me to give them a better wage without having to pay it in the end, because obviously if I don't get very many clean sheets, then he's not going to get paid that money. So yeah, he seems to have accepted that. It was kind of like a mid-range point. I've managed to knock him down by quite a bit and ended up giving him a little bit of a sign-on fee. So I've just noticed that I've got this Fabang Roy. He's the guy who's got the really good tackling stats. I'll just show you now quickly. He's got 18 tackling, so I'm going to retrain him as a defensive midfielder, as a ball winner. It's something that I said that I would do in the first episode, and obviously I'm kind of struggling in that position at the moment, so I think that it kind of makes sense to just put him in there, and we'll see how he gets on. Okay, so we're really struggling for strikers at the moment, so I'm just going to have a quick look for some strikers. I'm going to go for finishing first, so off the ball, work rate, pace. Might take a couple of them out, might stick composure in for now and just knock it down by quite a few and go to 12. I'm just going to keep going up and down on this as much as I can, and I've just stuck with an age in there for now as well, just to see if I can get a young striker in that might outperform himself. It's not looking good though, to be honest, in terms of the young players. These seem to be like really bad. This guy seems like he might be okay, but he's not great by any stretch of the imagination. Fraser Murdoch might be okay from Scotland. Another thing that I've noticed is that they obviously are going to need work permits to come over to South Africa. So even if there are foreigners that are quite good, if they haven't played for their country and they're not of like a decent level, they're not even going to get their work permit to come over here. So I'd be kind of wasting my time to get them in. Quite a lot of these, like even this guy, the Swedish guy, I'm adding him in just in case. But yeah, he's probably not going to be able to come because of the work permit situation. Parasnath, yeah, he seems okay. He's actually listed for loan, and it's a free loan, so I'm definitely going to do that. I think that's pretty much a free pass at a striker that, and we can see how he is. Usually with the loans as well, I'll just get them in, and then if they're no good, then I'll just cancel the loan straight away. One thing to look out for when you're doing that though is that you can have a limit on the number of loans that you can do in a season, which if you do what I've just said, then you end up cancelling like 4 of your loans, and then you actually can't get any more in. So yeah, just look out for that. I've actually done that once or twice before, which is quite devastating when it comes to sign a player on loan that you actually wanted. So yeah, I'm just scanning through these ones. I've noticed that a couple of these have come up before. This Mbongo's come up before, so I'm gonna give him a trial. And this guy, Lucky Coon, what a great name that is. 6'2", 26. Yeah, let's see if he'll come on a trial. He looks like he could be actually pretty decent. He looks like he's got some pace. Yeah, he looks like he's pretty solid. He could end up being a good striker for us. So Hendricks is actually set to sign. You can actually see his full stats now, and he is really good. He's probably going to be one of my better players. I am torn with whether to play him at right back though. I'm thinking maybe to play in defensive midfield, so I'm going to move him to there. And so we've just got a report back on Lucky Coon. He is looking like he's going to be a really good striker, to be honest. I think that he's probably going to be one of the strikers that we pick. Oh no, this guy looks like he could be unreal, finishing 4 to 7, first touch 7, but look at that pace, 2020, and in this league he will be devastating. So yeah, we're going to definitely offer him a trial. And Dulov is set to sign, so I'm just going to delay him. I think that we're probably going to get him in, but I just don't want to jump on him too early, just in case some of the scout reports come back and there's anyone else who's any good. But his header mark and the tackle are really good. So yeah, Ahsoka I think is going to be our best centre back. His determination is actually 1, which is concerning. But yeah, I'm just going to do a comparison between the two, and they are quite similar. Very similar, to be honest. So yeah, I think them two could just about hold their own at centre back. Yeah, just having a little look at Haraba again, just to make sure. I'm really struggling for options in goal, so I think it's probably going to have to be him. So I've decided that the fitness is too much of an issue for me to just ignore it. So I think that the only option that I can do is basically get rid of my assistant manager, because I'm not really overly confident with him anyway. I think that that's probably the only way I'm going to be able to do it at the moment, because obviously it's 1 of 1 rather than having to get rid of loads of my coaches, and it'll cost me money. So I'm just going to do a quick search to see if there's anybody who comes up. This guy's good, but he's a sports scientist. I mean, in real life he'd probably accept an assistant manager job, but yeah, he's not going to do it. It's not looking good again. Stefan Everson, what a player he was back in the day, ex-Tottenham player. He's actually playing still, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get him, which is a shame. I'd love to be able to actually just get him as a player. He's not the best anyway, to be honest, so let's just have a look at the coaching attributes for them. Marcus Larson, he's head of youth development. He's actually not. Let's see if he'll do it. No, he doesn't want to come either, which is devastating, so we're going to have to filter based upon assistant manager. Oh, Breda Hangeland. Who'd have thought it? Ex-Fulham. Oh, he's gone orange straight away. Jeez, I don't know whether we're going to be able to get him in. I'm going to have to do some sort of weird thing. So let's say if we win the league, we'll give him £2,000. And he's done it. It's green. God, who'd have thought it? Breda Hangeland is my assistant manager in South Africa. That is just outrageous. So Eugene Sopome, he wants 18 grand. Oh, we've got a decent balance anyway, nearly 300 grand. So they're skimping a bit on the transfer budget, but yeah, we're going to have to terminate him, and then hopefully Hangeland will come in. So we've managed to sign Parasnath on loan. He actually looks like he's quite good. He's got 14 finishing, which is going to go down well in this league, to be honest. So he could end up being quite a decent striker, and we're struggling for strikers at the moment, so we might actually get a game in. He's also quite young. He's getting free. He's on a free wage as well, so yeah, that's definitely something to look out for when you're looking for your players. Is free loan players. Still waiting for some stats on some of these trialists like Eckersley, but yeah, we'll see how we get on. So Endoro is set to sign, so we're going to get rid of that keeper who's always giving us some grief. Okay, so we skipped a couple of more days and we've got a friendly again, so yeah, we're going to just set up a team with, I think I'm going to play quite a few of the trialists who we haven't got the stats for yet, and just see if we can get a decent result against the African All-Stars, who I'm not sure whether they're actually a decent team or not. We'll soon find out whether we get absolutely had off. So yeah, I'm just going to set up the opposition instructions again, exact same as last time. Any old team talk should do as well, so we'll just set these up. Yep, so here we go. Second friendly, second game with Whitbank Spurs. Well, at least it wasn't 2 minutes this time. 5 minutes in, can't see any of his stats. Sakete, but that was a decent effort, to be honest. Oh god, that better not be a theme across the whole season where we just concede straight away, because it's going to be absolutely horrendous. Oh, decent. Own goal by Ingamane. Decent cross by Mohau. I think he might end up being my right back, to be honest. He's actually okay. He's got good tackling. His marking and a couple of his other stats aren't great, but he's got a bit of pace about him, so he might end up getting down that right wing quite nicely. I mean, I say he's got good pace. I think it's like 13 or something like that, which is not exactly setting the world alight, but in this league he could do some damage. It's a good knock by Eckersley. Skosana, Parasnath. Might end up just calling him Para, to be honest, because Parasnath's a pretty long name, but that was decent. Good little delivery from Skosana as well, to be fair. He's actually playing opposition. Oh my god. It was an own goal. Jeez. Haraba. Is it Haraba in goal? Flipping heck. That was shocking. Mohau again getting down the wing, and Sutsalupa has scored. Left foot Sutsalupa. Right on our time. That was a good little cross as well by Mohau. I'm thinking that he might do all right, doing all right down that right wing. Yeah, and it does seem like the fullbacks, when they get forward, they just don't get picked up. No one goes out to the cross ever, and you just seem to have like a free cross every time. That was concerning, that goal that we conceded, though, to be honest. Wow, what a chance. So we're just going to make a couple of subs. Didn't make any in the last game. I'm just trying to get a bit of fitness up for some of the players, obviously match fitness, and just test a few players out. I'm not too bothered at the moment. We've got quite a few friendlies to go, so we can really focus on the first team once we've got rid of all the trialists and we've actually got the stats together. Knocking it about all right, and they've scored. It's 3-3. Eckersley 6.1. He is playing left back and he is a right back, but it's not really any excuse. He should be bossing it really. If he's going to be a foreign player, I mean, if I get any foreign player in, they're going to have to boss it. So yeah, I think we'll take him off. Try Lepping. He's out of position as well, but I think we'll just try him. Maybe try Hendricks as an anchor man. He's not doing too well as a ball winner. Moyo's not doing too well either, 6.4, but it looks like he's going to be my captain. So yeah, I'm quite happy with him. He seems like quite a nice all rounder. Oh, it's a decent goal. Well, I say that it was a bit of a shit goal to be fair, but Hendricks with the delivery, Da Costa. Again, doesn't sound very South African, but he is. Roger Da Costa. Oh, that was a decent hit, that Byron Hendricks. 4-3. Decent result. Decent result. Okay, so we've skipped a couple of days, and thankfully, Hangeland has set to sign. He's going to accept the deal. He's going to end up being the assistant manager, which is very good news, to be honest. He's probably much better than what I anticipated I would get. He's got really good defending, but at the minute, mate, you're going to have to be stuck on fitness. So yeah, we've managed to get an extra star on strength and half a star on aerobics. So it was worth it, I think. Just going to go through a couple of these stats and just move them around a little bit. I think that it's coming together a little bit. I wish that I had a better goalkeeper, to be honest. That's one area that I wish I was going to do better, and hopefully the really pacey striker that I've got is going to be a bit of a worldie. I think that Lucky Kuhn as well, the striker, I think he could end up doing all right. I think Moyo and Sutsalupa in centre midfield could do okay. Hendricks maybe playing in anchorman. Mo Howe right back, Soko and Dulu centre back. Probably need to try and get a left back in, to be honest. But yeah, the team's coming together a little bit. Just going to set some staff responsibilities. So I'm just going to swap the scout over to sets assignments for the scouting team and swap the match training to Breda Hangeland just so that he automatically does it, because I don't really like setting that up, to be honest, and it's probably just easier for the save if he just does it for the time being. Plus, yeah, he might as well earn his foundry code a week while he's here. So we're going to end the episode here. Obviously, it's a bit of a shorter episode, this one, but hopefully in the next episode we'll get to the end of pre-season, have the transfer deadline day, and then maybe even play one of the first games of the season. So yeah, subscribe if you like the video, hit the like button if you want, leave some comments in there if you want of anything that you think I can improve on, and yeah, I'll see you next time.